Another financial hit to some business owners impacted by the July fire at the historic Broad Street Market in Harrisburg. Vendors were recently notified that starting next month, the price to rent space at the market will nearly double. Fox 43's Alyssa Kratz spoke with vendors and market leadership about that decision. She's live in Harrisburg with the story.
Evan, that's right. And this is a decision that the market's board of directors says they do not take lightly. It comes after they decided not to raise rent last year, immediately following the fire, instead trying to just rely on those community donations. But the board says that's just not sustainable anymore. It's another hit for vendors at the Broad Street Market in Harrisburg. The market's board of directors has notified vendors that as of February 1st, rent will nearly double from its current $2.67 to $5.25 per square foot of market space.
I think we can all agree that, nobody right now can afford double rent on 30 days notice.
The proposed hike applies to both businesses in the stone building as well as those that will occupy the temporary structure once it's finished. The market's executive director says the July fire that destroyed the brick building has resulted in a 70% loss in revenue, and the increase is needed to keep the market running.
I know it feels like a low blow in a lot of ways, and it's disheartening after the holidays. I understand the frustration, but we were faced with a decision that if we didn't do it, it would actually backfire for the vendors and then not having a space.
Vendors have been told the increase is based off comparable lease rates at other local markets, though they believe the numbers being used are inaccurate.
Many of us vend in other markets, and we talk to each other. That's part of what makes this special. We all kind of work together. And those numbers that they're basing this rent increase off of were wildly exaggerated.
We understand that their rates are low and that a increase could be necessary, but we're asking for an incremental increase and also a fair increase.
Tanis says the numbers were pulled directly from market websites or speaking to those who run them.
Maybe we got inaccurate information, but that's something that we're keeping an eye on, along with rates in the area as well, just to keep it comparable.
Meanwhile, vendors are worried about what it all means for the future.
In the next 30 days, if nothing changes, you will see vendors leaving.
Now, directors say that right now the market has a wait list of about 20 to 25 vendors hoping to get in. So they're hoping that the rent increase will maybe allow more space. It'll allow current vendors to not need as much space in the market. The director also tells me that the board remains open to vendor feedback about the rent increase. A public meeting will be held next Wednesday night about it. Reporting live in Harrisburg, Alyssa Kratz, Fox 43 News.